This video segment continues our treatment of international relations and law. It focuses on the Montreal and Kyoto protocols. The major points of this segment are: number 1. Chlorofluorocarbons and hydrochlorofluorocarbons are man-made chemicals that deplete Earth's ozone layer and act as potent greenhouse gases. Number 2. The single most successful international agreement to date has been the Montreal Protocol that limits ozone-depleting chemicals. Number 3. The Kyoto Protocol on Global Climate Change, although it was in force for 7 years before expiring in 2012, did not achieve most of its goals. Chlorofluorocarbons and hydrochlorofluorocarbons are chemicals that at one time were the main ingredients of refrigerants, propellants for aerosol sprays, cleaning solvents for dry cleaning in electronic circuits, and bubbles injected into rigid and flexible foams. Scientific evidence mounted through the 1970s and 1980s that release of these chemicals were depleting the ozone layer in Earth's upper atmosphere. This layer absorbs ultraviolet solar radiation that otherwise could harm life on Earth. For example, the incidence of human skin cancer increases with exposure to ultraviolet radiation. More important to the topic of this book, however, is that chlorofluorocarbons and hydrochlorofluorocarbons are also potent greenhouse gases. 28 sovereign states in 1985, including most of the major producers of chlorofluorocarbons and hydrochlorofluorocarbons, negotiated the Vienna Convention on Protection of the Ozone Layer to provide a general framework for international regulations on ozone-depleting substances. This was followed in 1987 by the Montreal Protocol on Substances that Deplete the Ozone Layer, a treaty with a timetable to phase out and eventually eliminate the production and consumption of these chemicals. The protocol allowed developing states a 10-year delay before they needed to meet the same limits to production and consumption as developed states. The Montreal Protocol entered into force in 1989 after ratification by over 11 sovereign states representing more than 2/3 of the world's consumption of ozone-depleting substances. It has undergone 7 revisions. By 2008, 193 sovereign states had ratified the protocol. The London revision in 1990 established a multilateral fund to provide funds for developing states to convert existing manufacturing processes from ozone-depleting substances, to train personnel, to pay royalties and patent rights on new technologies, and to establish national ozone offices. Industrialized states make donations to replenish the fund every 3 years. As of July 2008, some 49 industrialized states have contributed over $2.4 billion. The Montreal Protocol adopted non-confrontational enforcement procedures that some consider weak. Parties to the protocol are required to report annually on their production and consumption of ozone-depleting substances. If a sovereign state is out of compliance in its commitments, it may receive assistance for the collection and reporting of data, technical assistance, and financial assistance. If a sovereign state remains non-compliant, an implementation committee may suspend its rights and privileges under the treaty. This may include cutting off financial and technical assistance or prohibiting trade, both import and export, of controlled substances with other parties to the protocol. The Implementation Committee has yet to impose such sanctions despite some flagrant abuses of the treaty, and this has allowed black market production of ozone-depleting substances to flourish around the world. The black market for chlorofluorocarbons may be the second most lucrative criminal smuggling operation after illegal drugs.